While others celebrate the wins,
Yes.
We celebrate the mud.
each episode has a special guest.
Tony-nominated actress, Broadway's Lily Cooper.
Tashir Zameda.
David A. Gregory.
Getting messy with muddy topics.
We are going to be talking about grief journey.
With hilarious moments
Now get over here.
And deep conversations.
I'm ashamed to even admit this, but this is what happened.
This is Into the Mud.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Into the Mud podcast. While others celebrate the wins,
We celebrate the mud. I'm Alex Kumin.
I'm Drew King.
We're coming to you from the Malin West Village with our wonderful guest today.
The Crafty Lumberjacks.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Also known as Dennis and Andrew.
Yes, the internet's favorite crafty couple.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe sometimes.
The straight crafting bros.
Yes.
You know it.
Clearly.
You know it.
Yeah, bro.
Chopping wood.
100%.
Yeah, baby.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the internet knows you all as the Crafty Lumberjacks, but I know you guys as Dennis and Andrew because Dennis and I toured a million years ago together, and Andrew came and joined us for big chunks of time on that tour.
That's amazing.
Oh my gosh. With
was
our other
for?
former guest, Ben Russell Lynch.
Yes.
Yes.
Also an internet sensation.
Internet, like
yeah.
literally.
Oh my God.
Sensation.
Crazy.
He has like 4 million followers on like TikTok or something like that. I was like,
That's
But you know what? He
Jesus.
stole all my bits. That
Duh,
was
of
my
course.
stuff. The ball
Bald
thing.
stuff?
Was it
That's my
really?
thing. Yes.
Reclaim it
I
and
want
challenge
10%.
it. 10%.
Let's kill him.
You hear that, Ben?
Let's kill
Let's kill him.
Let's kill him.
No, I'm so proud of him. And I'm so proud of you, too.
Oh my God. Thank you, my friend. I'm so proud of you guys. You guys have been crushing it.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
you guys
talk
have
to
been like
us.
all over the place. You were on Live with Kelly and Ryan this past Halloween.
Yes.
You were on The Chew. You were on Live with, I almost said Kelly Ripa again, but I was going to say Kelly Clarkson or Rachel
Not
Ray.
Kelly Clarkson.
No.
Rachel Ray.
You did the Rachel Ray show.
Yep. The Today Show.
Yeah, Sherry Shepherd show.
So amazing.
Oh, and
Wild.
Tamron Hall.
Yeah,
Tamron
Tavern Hall.
Hall.
We did, yes.
You guys have done like all the talk shows, and you just go on and
crazy.
you do crafts with them.
We do.
Yes.
Also,
yes.
tell us about what it is that you guys do and where Crafty Lumberjacks came from.
Okay. Well, you know, Andrew and I both met on a tour as well. We met on the national tour of
Fiddler on the Roof.
Yes, and we kind of had a showmance that turned into a romance. And during the tour, we found out that we had a mutual passion for crafting and making. So when we were on tour,
We started,
like
this is where I take over.
Yes.
Yes.
Finish
Thank
each
you so
other's
much.
sentences.
we would start like making Valentines for everybody, or like little Christmas gifts, and we would just get crafty with each other and like spread some love. And then when the tour ended, people were like, oh, you should like, we want to keep in touch with you, you should like kind of like document your journey together. And we started doing that, and then we kind of realized none of these people gave a shit about our journey after tour, and we were just kind of making these crafts for random people that we didn't know. And
yeah, and it was kind of like a hobby that turned into a career, essentially, which we
Yeah.
did not know and did not ask for. But, as theater people, and performers, we go where the money is.
Go follow the side hustles too. You're
so
like,
it kind of just kind of presented itself. But, this was before brands were being made, where people were branding themselves and kind of putting themselves out there.
so we picked our name, like, we were like, hi. We were just like, what is this going to be?
we're
Like, oh, that's kind of fun
Yeah,
and
we're
cute.
like crafty couple, crafty boys. And then we had this moment in Vancouver where Fiddler on the Roof, we had to grow out these long beards.
Yeah.
So we got like heckled essentially on the street one time. And he kept calling us lumberjacks on the street. And he was like, lumberjacks, lumberjacks. So for whatever reason, when we were like, we need like a fun name, we came, remember
like,
that moment,
remember that, yes.
guy. And we were like, oh, Crafty Lumberjacks kind of has a nice little ring. And we have the beards.
Well, it
and
is.
flannel.
It's so
love it.
memorable. It's such a memorable
great name.
Yes.
It is, but what's so crazy now, people don't understand that we're not lumberjacks.
Not
Right. We're like, they're
Oh.
the queens.
Right, we're not surrounded by trees at
Crafty
all.
no, but you're
Yeah,
like a metaphorical lumberjack, like a spiritual,
Yeah.
energetic lumberjack.
Period.
That's I've never.
Spiritual
I'm gonna
brownie
actually
man.
use that.
Maybe it's because I know you guys that I never was like, oh, but they're not lumberjacks. I just like you guys. You embody lumberjack like.
You got energy.
We
Yeah,
have
lumberjack
people,
energy.
people who love to remind us that we are
Exactly.
not lumberjacks.
Oh, yeah.
People write
Yeah.
us
The
and be
haters
like,
will come out.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Are there
"You're-"
like lumberjacks coming after you, being like, I do crafts and I cut trees, you're making a bad name for us actual crafty
No, it's always
lumberjacks.
lumberjack allies.
Lumberjack
It's,
allies.
it's never the
Lumberjack
lumberjacks.
allies.
Yeah.
Or yes, where it's like you're an embarrassment to the lumberjack community, and we're like, is there a lumberjack community still?
There's a community for everything.
Period.
Oh
these
man,
days.
wherever they are, I want to help
And we
chop
support.
their wood.
Yeah, we support,
Yeah.
of course.
Oh my god.
What are some of the what were some of the first projects that you guys did?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, who can remember that?
Well, you know, a
far?
lot of it was like decorating our hotel rooms, decorating our bus seats, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then we moved in together, and then we started decorating our apartment,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
we have a real big focus on like Halloween and Christmas, just because that's something we love.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and what's crazy is, again, we didn't realize this would lead to anything. We were just doing a fun little blog and then
Yeah.
doing our Instagram posts, sharing stupid little pictures, you know, and then through the power of social media, people from HGTV noticed us and reached out to us, and that's kind of like catapulted this whole
Yeah.
business and
I
career.
remember that.
Yes, and it was crazy. And then before we knew it, we're like doing that HGT stuff. We're getting brand deals. We're going
Yeah.
on these shows, and we're like, we've been doing this full time now for 7 years.
Wow. It's so
well,
remarkable.
I think that's such a testament to like I think with social media now, people seeing what can come of a big following, people sort of chase the like, okay, how do I get followers versus like, well, what is my passion? What am I good at? What do I like to do? Which is very organically what you guys
yes,
chose. And you chose this almost like act of play, the thing we like to do that brings us joy. And then that's why it's grown into something, because it's like, it's such a different thing when you're like, okay, like what's the video that's going to
Yeah.
get 10,000
What's the
views?
hook,
It's like, what's the
man?
hook?
What's
And
the
it's like,
hook?
which is so much of what people are like, well, when you're on social media now, you got to make hook within 3 seconds and da-da-da. And it's like, we're so focused on growing inorganically versus like, why don't you just be yourself and follow the thing that you love to do, and then you'll never work a day in your life.
Yes.
But that segues us perfectly into defining our topic for the day, which is we kind of boiled it down to like the death of the hobby and then trying to find a way to regain our sense of play. I feel like you guys are the epitome of that, is that you took a hobby and yes, you've monetized it, but per what Alex was just saying, it wasn't monetized because you were chasing monetization or followers. It just is what you genuinely are passionate about. And I think that we as a society, myself included, I fall victim to this so much, is I don't allow myself to have hobbies. I feel like the idea of hobbies has died because social media has kind of thrusted upon us that we need to monetize and commodify every single thing that we do. So like I said in the notes, you can't just be a singer in the local choir. You have to go on American Idol and you have to win. And then you can't just be a photographer. You have to like post the most beautiful photos and then National Geographic is going to pick you up. We're obsessed with this idea of elitism, especially when it comes to even our fucking hobbies. Hobbies are supposed to be us time, where you don't need to let the world know what it is. So talk to us about, just expound a little bit more on your love for crafting and why you think that hobbies are so important.
I mean, I think this is a conversation we have a lot with each other because there are times where we are crafting and we are documenting it, and as you know, it is a production.
Yes.
And you're probably present, but you're also thinking about the 30 other things that go into it that nobody else is thinking about.
Yes.
And there are often times where we are crafting and it's not as enjoyable as it once was. When we started, we were taking pictures, like a couple pictures as we were crafting, and then the end picture, putting it on a blog. Now you have to document everything, edit everything.
Videos.
Oh my
and it
God.
sucks the joy out of it.
Oh,
you know,
honey.
you are,
Yeah.
I'm like, sometimes we finish a craft, I'm like, why did I do that? Oh, because I wasn't thinking about the
Yeah.
craft. I was thinking about like, oh, is my hand in a weird spot? You know? So
For the framing. Yeah. Oh my God.
And I think now we're so boggled down by social media and self-producing ourselves that we kind of forget that not every passion needs a platform.
Yes.
You know, and
Yes.
Yeah.
it's kind of tricky because when our passion now is the platform, is our breadwinner essentially, but it's really tricky. But at times we get so frustrated with kind of documenting, building, getting the supplies, workshopping, that like after we complete something, we're just like, get rid of it, throw it out. I don't want to see
I
it.
don't wanna look
Like
at
we've
this.
completely lost all joy.
Wow.
because I think when you make something, you have an attachment to the process. You
Yeah.
will look at it and you will remember how you felt while making it. If we make a
Yeah.
craft where we are like butting heads the whole time, we will like look at the craft and be like,
burn it.
Get it
yeah,
out.
literally.
The energy is
Burn the
badass.
craft.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've been better though lately.
We have.
Even yes,
We have.
in our old age.
Burn the felt
Yes.
snowman.
Literally.
Gotta go.
Yeah, it's really interesting because, and I also think kind of just both having a theater background, because we rarely do any crafting now for ourselves. And when we do, we have this guilt or this shame of like, oh gosh, we should be sharing this. We have to be filming this. Like, this is good content. This is a good project. And sometimes that's really hard to get past.
Yeah.
Then we have all the guilt. We have so much guilt. We're like, well, why didn't we just set up the camera? It's like, well,
You
It
just
can't
wanted to
be-
make a
It can't
craft.
just be for everything.
But I was
yeah.
going to kind of talk about just like the process. And I think being theater people, performers, that's something that I've always gravitated towards, like through theater, through
Yeah.
rehearsals, through, and I think what we like to instill or kind of express to people who are watching or that are friends of ours, that it's so much more about the process and the end outcome.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of time people forget that. And especially now where you're, working for views or, comments, instant gratification.
Right.
Yeah.
People kind of, if they don't get that, they give up.
right. Or
Well,
watching
and
it.
you can quantify it now in ways that you never like. You can literally be like, well, this number of people liked what I did last week, and I didn't get that
It's so
many.
obscure.
Or
Like, that is
or like
crazy.
there's never been so much comparison in our just face to face with it, and I think that is driving us in such an inorganic way too, of
Absolutely.
like oh, I gotta get, and it's like, for what?
Right.
Like,
for what?
for
Yes.
what?
Why?
But then it's like, for money, for career success, for like, I'm in stand up, right? When it's like, okay, well, clubs will book you based on the number of followers you
Yep.
have now. So it's like, it actually is my career now to do
right.
this. But it's also like, well, it's taking the joy out of like being present with an audience, because I'm like, oh, I gotta get a good clip tonight. Like, I gotta do some crowd work so I can get a good clip, or get this joke out so I can. It's like, woof. That's not why
Yeah.
I got into this.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what absolutely killed me? We did an event with dermatologists and they were talking about the same thing. Now all these doctors need to have a platform and do content when
Yes.
they come home.
Isn't
and I'm
that
like,
crazy?
you are a doctor and
You're a
you're dealing
doctor.
with this?
I know.
Or a doctor.
Who's that? Like hot Dr. Matt or whatever. That's like on all the TV shows. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't think
He
so.
is hot, but I'm also just like, shouldn't you be doctoring? Like, are you
Right,
ever at
right.
the
Making
hospital?
content, yes.
Like, you're just
Yeah.
making content.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Maybe he's trying to be a Dr. Phil. Is Dr. Phil an actual doctor? I don't think he ever was. Maybe I don't know.
sure.
Whatever.
Who
But like,
knows?
you're right. It's like, just do the thing that you're supposed to be doing.
Of course.
It really. We've had this conversation many a times about
Yeah.
the joy getting sucked out of the thing. Even podcasting. Like,
Yeah.
we sat down one day, we were in a really rough chapter of our lives, had brunch, got drunk, and we were like, we love talking about deep shit and we love each other. Let's
Yeah.
sit down and do a podcast. And like that, the root of that idea was so fun and
So good.
beautiful.
And now
like,
we hate each other.
now we fucking hate, we don't even
Relatable.
talk anymore.
Can't fucking
We hate
stand
each other.
Really good on camera rapport. You should see when they stop rolling.
No, but it's like, oh my God, like you can see it's like, we got to get the camera at the right angle and make sure the light's not here and it's not reflecting in the mirror. And then the questions are printed out, but really they're typed on cue cards. And
There's
like,
nothing on
There's
these.
nothing on them. Like, and then being like, is my angle okay? And like, because then I'm editing and I'm like, fuck, my hair was out of place.
Right.
My forehead was shiny. I had too much product in. Fuck. Like,
Yeah.
and then editing till 4 a.m. and we're like harassing our friends to come on the podcast. I'm like, oh, whoa. Like,
Get
I
back
thought we
to
were
basics.
podcasting.
Get back to-
Like, I thought we were just sitting and have conversations, but no. And then like, we're texting each other being like, their podcast is blowing up and ours is blah.
Yeah.
Like, the compare despair. Like,
course.
are you ever comparing yourself to other crafters by being like,
Constantly.
that other crafter got an endorsement from Michael's Arts and Crafts and we didn't?
100%.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
we forget
Time.
we're seeing
Yeah.
people's like highlight reels,
Yes.
essentially, so it's hard to not see other crafters, especially after the pandemic. There was this huge boom in crafty content creators where we see people that just started 2 years ago, surpassing us, succeeding more, and we can't help but think, great, everything sucks.
That's
about
the
that all
thing.
the
We
time.
talk about this all the time, of being like, well, when did you start? Or like, how old are you? Or how long have you been in this? And you already have more. So does that mean like, I'm not ever going to get to that place because I haven't figured it out in the same amount of time that you have?
Yeah.
And that is still a thought that is like so destructive to me, that I still push back on every day, of like
Yep.
this comparison to other people and when they started and how long they've been in it and their age, and being like, well, that must mean that I won't be able to figure out because I haven't figured it out.
Yeah.
And then it's like, but then it's also like, well, what is figuring it out and in what realm too?
Right.
Like, I think the other thing too is like, you guys are like also a couple. Like sometimes I look at like other people who have what I want career wise, but then I'm like, oh, but you're like, your social life or your personal life is just so like, does not look appealing, or like, that's not a life that I would want to live.
Yeah.
Right.
And not to like, but I think about like how rich I am in some other areas, and that I'm sure there are people looking at me being like, oh, of course there are people looking at me being like, I wish I had what she had. But
She's a loser with only 40K followers, but
50.
she has a lot of friends, and
we
I
did
want
hit
that life.
50, which was
Yeah.
nice.
Ooh, 50.
Congrats. But that's a conversation that we have a lot because
all the time.
We, sometimes we're like, we need to buy a house. We need to set this perfect vision of like, because you see, where, these highlight
HGTV
reels.
peoples.
Yes,
Yeah.
where you're like, oh, people have these gorgeous homes and this large, property, and like at times we're kind of like, do we need that? Do we
want that?
Yeah,
we lived,
Do you want that?
we lived in our apartment for over 13 years.
Yeah.
We are rent stabilized. We live close to all our favorite bars and restaurants.
It's a
like,
great apartment.
I love that
Yeah.
about us. It
Yeah.
has no natural light. It's falling apart. It's literally terrible. but
Yeah.
we love
Just
it.
kidding. It's
Yeah,
not a
and
great
then we're like,
apartment.
yeah. It is
So
a great apartment.
real
A great
piece of
location and
piece
at
of
a
shit.
great price.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
kind of we're like, do we live our life for our content, or do we live our life and then create content? Is kind of like a question that we
Yeah.
always kind of not struggle with, because we'd rather have this than have a home that's gorgeous that we have nobody to come and visit.
I don't want to live in suburbia.
No,
No,
just nobody
don't.
does.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I'm sure these are probably people you're comparing yourselves to, because I am, just when it comes to not being a homeowner. But I feel like there's like 7 or 8 different white gay couples that own homes, and they all some have names that are kind of like the husbands who renovate, or like the renovation bros, or bros with a house in
Yeah.
Connecticut renovating, like something.
Yes.
And I'm always looking at them and I'm like, where are you getting your money? Like, how could you buy
Yeah.
this 17 bedroom, 14 bath, like old Victorian in Greenwich, Connecticut? And like, what a mess. We have so much renovating to do. And I'm like, where do you get your money? And you still get to go to the gym, and you're also like only 22 and already married.
Yes.
I'm like almost
Must be
40 and like
nice.
not
Yeah.
married and don't have a house. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah. And what's interesting is we get compared to a lot of those couples
I'm
because
sure.
they see us as a gay couple, but we're like, we don't renovate homes.
We craft.
So people be like,
Paper and
oh,
scissor people.
yeah, they're like, oh, you guys all
We're
know
the
each other.
rock.
You
Just
do
doing
the same
electrical
thing.
wiring with pipe
Right, and we're
cleaners. Like, yeah.
We don't do that. We don't do
Googly
that,
eyes
boo.
on the cracked window.
Yeah.
I want
Yes.
that bit. I want you to
Yes.
do like just mocking home renovation shows,
You're like,
and you're fixing everything with crafts.
Yes.
Instead of crown molding, what we did was pipe cleaners. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
my
You're
God.
cleaning the toilet with those Christmas trees that you make.
yes,
like,
yes.
you're scrubbing like
scrubbing 'em
Oh
down.
my God, I
Oh my
love
gosh.
this. Oh, this is so funny. Okay, I'm curious, do you guys have hobbies outside of crafting that you don't talk about publicly online, that you actually get to keep in your own sacred space?
No, but I would love to find some.
You're like,
It is
blowjobs?
nice.
I don't know.
Maybe.
That's a hobby for all of us.
That is my hobby. Yes.
We were talking before about the pandemic. Really, like, I think this is such an interesting thing that crafting really like came to the forefront because people all of a sudden had time again to,
Yeah.
and I don't want to say waste because that's not it, but people had
Enjoy.
time
Yes.
to slow down. And I took up sewing. I like just taught
Yes.
myself how to like hem pants and make a bag and done it like simple stuff. But I remember feeling so calm, like to work with your hands to create something that you use. Like, it's so calming. And I have my sewing machine is sitting in my apartment. I open it from time to time, but every time I do, I'm like, oh, this is so good. This is like lowering my stress by. But I do feel like I saw that happen over the pandemic, and then it just kind of got lost again. And I think the art of like crafting or creating, or like just creating with your hands, doing the stuff that we all fucking homesteaders had to do because they had hours and hours a day.
Yeah.
It just gets pushed out in favor of the hustle or work or family or whatever the thing is. And I think it is so important to come back to that stuff because it really is like I don't know if you guys feel, I'm sure you feel that way when you're like, I don't know.
It's hard because I feel like as adults, we kind of learn that your joy and kind of these experiences have to be earned. You know, where we don't really have to cook, you know, just be like, I'm just doing this because I enjoy it. You know, you have to like go to work, put on your tie, make your money,
It's all about
provide
the
for
end
your
product.
family. Yes, all about the outcome, you know.
Or earning rest, or earning,
Right, yes.
earning. You got to deserve the hour of free time, and it's like, no, you have to stop. Actually, at some point, you actually do have to. You cannot work for 24 hours a day. You cannot work even for 12 hours a day. Like you can, but like, good luck with your fucking blood pressure. Like, I don't know. Like, I just like can't.
Yeah, it is bizarre. But yeah, as children, like, you know, it's all about, you know, you explore,
Play,
grow,
enjoy.
create, you know, and then then capitalism
out.
takes in, you know, and takes over.
But it is a goal to find a hobby that we're not talking about publicly, you know, something for myself. I don't know how to sew a button. So I feel like that's been on my mind. Like, I want to learn how to sew.
Yeah.
But I've been saying that for years.
What should the Instagram handle be? I'm already... No, I'm kidding.
Oh, my God.
I will say New York
Sewing a button
Sewing
with
Academy
Andrew.
is great.
Yeah.
New York Sewing Academy was really helpful.
Oh.
There's like, they were like, they do classes and you can like,
cute.
That's
it
cool.
was so fun. I loved it.
Wow.
That's the kind of thing where I'm like, I want to take a sewing class. I want to take a language class. I want to like do these things. And it's so easy for them to fall to the wayside because of, in lieu of like, we do gotta earn money. We gotta.
Yeah, I think there is a resurgence with like classes like that, with, you know, trying to find a community that's not online, but also online. Like, my mom's a knitter, and she will, you know, she has like a Zoom class she does every week. You know, it's so I do think there is the death of the hobby too, but I do think there is a resurgence of the hobby for a lot of people, just not us. Sadly.
But I want us all to find a way that we, bring back the hobby, but bring back the hobby without having to post about it online.
Right.
Is where we are. Because even for myself, like, I don't know, I bought a paint by number like 3-4 months ago, and the second that I opened it up, I was like trying to take a cute photo like with my martini in the background so I could post it on Instagram and be like, look at me, I'm fun, and I'm listening
Look
to
at me,
Snow
I'm
Patrol,
fun and relaxed.
and I'm relaxed and doing a paint by number. That fucking thing is still sitting in the closet and I barely touched it. Like, but when I did sit down and do it, I did a few times.
You did. You were like, but I think also I remember you being like, I'm gonna like stay in tonight, do my little paint by number, and it was like seemed like a very like calming act.
I'm gonna do that tonight. I'm gonna do the paint by number tonight.
You should.
Yeah, I hope this
Look out for the
inspires you.
videos.
You know, I was going to say, I think actually what's interesting now is that now that crafting is our career, my hobby now seems to be theater. You know, so every now and then, if we're getting to sing together or go back to theater or have an opportunity to do a summer stock gig for 4 weeks, that's oddly become my hobby and the thing that kind of like fuels me to kind of just keep on going. Just because theater is like my first love.
Yeah.
You know, so anytime I can go back to it, but now it almost feels like a hobby.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I
That's
totally
so
get
great.
that.
I love that.
Like,
I was gonna ask, like, because I think this idea of like getting back to basics or like getting back to why you love a thing is so important, but sometimes it's hard to remember why you love a thing. Like, I had to, with like stand up last year, I was having just a rough time with it, and I was like, well, what do you love about it? And I was like, well, I love to make people laugh. And it's like, sure, yes, but why? What's beneath that? And like, how does it make you feel internally, emotionally, mentally? Like, I had to like really like parse out like, what are the feelings that you have when you are like in flow or like doing the thing that you love? And so I'm interested when you say like you're feeling drawn back to like theater. Like, how does it make you feel to be like singing or performing?
Oh my gosh, just the best. I
Yeah.
feel like it's like how I kind of like found myself, you know, in theater. I didn't do sports. I, you know, was an awkward kid who was gay, you know, that didn't really know it. Nobody really supported me or lifted me up. So kind of when I found theater, and it was like that moment of like sitting with my mom watching kids on a stage, and I was like, Mom, I could do that. I could do that. I just knew. And luckily I had supportive parents that like that summer my mom put me in acting classes, and then I felt like I had this whole community, this whole tribe, and I could be myself. You know, so I think anytime I'm coming back to theater, I kind of feel like I just get to be myself fully, and that's really special.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. What about you, Andrew?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when we're talking about like play, it's like I always like the process. I always
Yeah.
love like the rehearsal process.
Mhm.
So like whenever like you opening night, I always get like a little sad because I miss that like, rehearsal room feeling.
Because then it's rinse and repeat once you're in performance.
Yeah,
Somewhat.
Yes. And I still love that aspect of it, but I do love like, just like exploring the process of it.
Yeah. Well, that's why I left, essentially. Like, that was why I had to like get out of musical theater, because it was the thing that I had to do. It was like I had to go to auditions.
It stopped being the thing.
It's completely stopped being fun. I miss that. It hasn't come back yet for me. I had gotten so burnt out from performing in musical theater and from dancing. I had started to hate it so much. So, and even now, I still have friends that are like, "Hey, I have a ticket to the show. Do you want to come see?" And I'm like, "No. I don't want to go." Like, I don't even want to go sit in a theater right now and like watch a show. Music and concerts, different story. Love that. But like, I don't want to go sit and watch a Broadway musical right now. Maybe a play for sure. But I just am, I don't know. And I'm waiting for it to come back. I'm waiting to go back to listening to cast recordings and loving it and being like, this lights me up. It used to light me up so much. So for me, yeah, it was a hobby that like fucking died, is where I am with theater right now. So I'm hoping that I'll have enough distance from it eventually, and that I'll be like, oh my God, this is magic. This is magic. Like, I want to come back to this.
And we kind of see, even in the theater community, Broadway especially, it's like it's the same thing that we're all doing with social media. Like, it's not about the process or kind of, they really have to tell the story. It's about monetizing and making money and selling tickets and getting the celebrities in here.
Yeah.
We've kind of lost the joy, the joy of the art of building, of creating, in almost every industry.
Yes.
And it's really tough. But what we like to remind ourselves is everything's like a pendulum. Like, it always comes back.
Yep.
Yes.
And kind of what's so great about working together and living together and spending every moment of our life together is that we have each other to rebound off of and to bring each other back when we're kind of really struggling or going through like a difficult moment, because we're like, it's okay that we feel this way right now. Like, we have to acknowledge that, like, this is okay. This will be gone, or we'll feel like this for a little bit, and then maybe next week something will spark. And I just think that's part of life and part of the process. It
ebbs and flows, and that it's often like when the fun and joy and the play is gone is when it dries up. Like, and that isn't that the issue at hand here is like the thing that you're going for, the harder you try to hold it, the faster it slips through your fingers. I'm in this stage now of being like, relax, slow down, rest, sleep, observe. Because when I'm tight, I'm not paying attention. I'm just so in my head, and I'm so like, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm looking over here and I'm comparing myself to here. And it's like, well, the whole fucking point of stand-up is to be present in life so you can observe moments of normalcy or subtlety and talk about them. Yeah. And you're so out and disconnected from the present moment because you're stressed out of it. Like, it's like, just get back to just slow down, get back to yourself, get back to feeling like yourself. And like, but I think I am hopeful right now too in regards to social media, and I do feel like the pendulum is swinging back of people being like, this has gone a little too far. Like, we've pushed it to the max, and now like we're gonna slow down. We're gonna get off our or try and get off our phones. I think
And I think you're right. Like, we've lost being present.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so great about crafting. If we're not filming and distracted, just kind of sitting with your hand, working with the process. We like to craft with our niece and nephew a lot. And it's so much, we're not really making anything particular, like, it's just about connecting, hanging out.
Do you document that process, or is that sacred to you and you don't?
It's pretty sacred.
Great.
Try not
to.
They like to be on their phone, or not their phones, our phones. So we kind of like share a little bit, but it's more about just like hanging with our niece and nephew. Yeah. And they're like, you guys are the crafty guys. Let's make something. You know? And oftentimes we don't even finish anything, but we'll spend like an hour to 2 hours just shooting the shit, talking, making a dog that looks like a rat, or whatever it may be.
And it's so cool to see how old are they?
Oh gosh, so 10 and 13 now.
Wow. 10 and 13. Like, it's, my nieces are 3 and 6, and so I like when I'm doing art stuff with them. You know, it's so cool to see. It's so cool to see someone coloring outside the lines.
Yes.
Or I'm gonna put this person has 3 eyes, and this duck that's also an octopus is climbing up the wall, and it's like, yeah, that. Give me that. Like,
Right.
where did that go? Because we just get so
That's why we do mushrooms.
Yeah.
Because then it comes back a little bit.
Absolutely. No, I did do acid last night.
Hey.
So
I go to your apartment and it's just covered with like
Oh my God.
childhood
Listen,
drawings with crayons.
there's a
You're
duck
like, I did
octopus
acid.
painted
Sorry.
on my wall. Yeah.
I actually, this is the total segue. I had this hookup with this very odd guy in Brooklyn like a million years ago, but he was a performance artist and he did a lot of drugs. As you know, I don't really do many drugs. I like weed, maybe mushrooms, that's it.
Right.
But this guy did a lot of drugs. And when I was in his apartment, I will say, despite him being like a weirdo, his apartment was filled with handmade art. Filled, floor to ceiling. One of the weird things was that he had like taken every single item in his apartment was covered in Mylar. Like the ceiling fan, the ceiling, the walls, you know, like aluminum looking sticky paper.
Oh, yeah.
And like it was, he had a baby grand piano that it was covered. And so you're just like kind of walking through the living room, stepping on this Mylar.
It
and I was
sounds like a full
this is
nightmare, but
insane. Yeah, it does. But I was like, what happened to your apartment? And he was like, oh, I don't know. We decided to like do a bunch of drugs the other day and like did a bunch of acid. And then we thought it'd be fun to like put Mylar everywhere. And it just felt really fun and creative. And I was like, oh,
okay.
cool. Good for you. I mean, so
Sure.
not that I'm saying people go out and do drugs. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying
I
like
am.
there is like a bit of an access to return back to playing creativity when you are able to let go of the rigid barriers that we live in on a normal, sober day-to-day life. You know, when we're not, I don't know. And now I sound like a drug addict. That's not the case. I'm just saying.
You just
Like
love Mylar.
I just,
Yeah.
I was like, what? But I just want to find, I also want to find that play again. And I do, I
Yeah.
feel that way.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I want to like color when I'm on mushrooms and like,
Yeah.
I want to cut up felt and like play with googly eyes.
Yeah.
Like, I want to color.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. We should
gotta-
all
we
color.
gotta find a way
Give
back.
yourself permission to do it.
It's
Yeah,
that.
I know.
It's the permission. I think that's the thing where a lot of people, myself included, get tripped up of like, did I earn the right
This
to do nothing or to
Yeah.
waste my time? Because we
Yes.
look at this as wasting time if it's not earning us money or simply tidying up after a day and I should do this, I should go to the grocery store, I should cook for the week, I should answer these emails, I should do this. There's a lot of shoulds in our life now. I now have to pick a day. I have to pick my days like ahead of time and be like, do not book anything on this day.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mondays are because I'm working all weekend, so it's like Monday's your day off. Don't put a meeting there. Don't take a show. Don't go out for dinner. Like that's your stop day.
Yeah.
Still hard because it's like
Yeah.
there's always work to be done.
Of course.
Yeah.
But like, is there? Because
Right.
when I'm rested and I'm the most efficient by capitalist standards, when I'm the most rested and like can be present and focused. But I think we're all fucking cogs in the machine, man.
That's right. It's so true.
There's the acid.
I want to ask you guys, we had a small little question in there about this, but I'm just curious. When it comes to the idea of masculinity and crafting, I feel like that's such an obscure topic, but actually it's not. Because I remember as a kid, I was a crafty kid. My superlative in middle school was most artistic. I was always, submitting my work to the art fairs and blah, blah, blah. So that was my chosen medium of expression. It wasn't sports. I fucking hated sports.
Yeah.
But I remember it was being crafty and being artsy was adjacent to being gay or being sissy or being feminine or like that. Girls do that. Girls like art. Girls like crafts. So now that we have this fabulous paradox of the crafty lumberjacks, but you're two gay men who are in a gay relationship and you are crafters. So do you get pushback from people when it comes to like crafting's for ladies? I don't know. Like I'm just or like what was your experience growing up being crafty, artsy kids as it butts up against your idea of masculinity?
I think we both grew up in similar households. Like both of our mothers were very crafty. So luckily they kind of took us under their wing for that. I mean, my parents tried to push me into sports. I was terrible, but they kept on trying. But I think luckily, like we grew up with the, It was okay to be crafty. Of course we get pushback though. I mean, there's always like homophobic comments. You know, we're deleting them all the time. It's just
no. You keep them. We've learned this. You keep them, and then you write sassy responses back, and then they keep coming back. But it's good because then other people jump in the comments. Sorry, we're going back to commodifying again.
Yes,
I was like, because then you drive engagement, and then you get more downloads. So like, yeah, commodify the hate.
Right.
This is
Yes,
great.
yes.
Keep them. Sorry.
Sometimes we will, but like I don't know. After a while, I'm like, I can't look at this anymore.
Oh my God,
because it really does terrible things to yourself. Like we'll
yeah,
get
but are
down
you
like
getting
a
more
3-day
followers?
Truth. I mean, it's worth it.
No, it's so bad when you're just
Carry
like,
on.
Yeah, people are so
They're terrible. They're horrible.
And we try. Sometimes we engage, but most of the time we're like, don't engage.
Okay.
But yeah, it's great for numbers.
Yeah.
You know,
funny.
hey. But yeah, I grew up in a crafty home too. My mom was a quilter. She actually sold crafts at like craft fairs, and I was like her little assistant on the job. You know, and my dad was a carpenter, and I think it's so funny because when I think of like him and his carpentry, it's almost more
crafty and
yes,
tactile.
Detail-oriented.
Yeah, detail oriented. And it's so interesting that men are like, we build, you know, but really they're you know, doing crazy numbers and cutting the wood 1.5 inches shorter so it matches up with this. Like it's very delicate work.
It is.
More than kind of just cutting paper and gluing it together. So I find it so interesting that there is this pushback and, you know, men don't do that. Men don't quilt because
it's all made up.
Makes
It's
sense.
just it's a construct. We've all made it up.
It's all made up. It's like, what? It's all
I think if anything, social media has really brought that to the forefront, though. Like the quilting community has like such a strong male presence now, which I think is like very healthy to see.
I love
male
that.
crafters, a lot of male knitters, crocheters.
Yeah, my nephew, that's like for the past 3 years, and all that he wants every Christmas is more crochet shit.
Yes.
Crochet. Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm just like, great. And I'm like, here, make this. And it's like the first thing he opens at Christmas, he opens up the crochet kits. So he can get anything else, but he's like, I wanna do this. He's so excited about it. I think it's so cute.
I love that. That's so great.
It. Yeah. Do you guys have any sort of practices to kind of re-engage? This doesn't have to be with crafting, but any practices in your own life that where you are trying to re-engage with play? It doesn't have to be a hobby, but like where you're like, oh, I just want to feel whimsical and curious and exploratory again. Is there anything you do in your daily life or?
I think we're trying to be more tourists in the city. You know, it's like there's a lot of museums we haven't been to still.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, you know, stuff we haven't explored. So I think we're trying to have more experiences.
Yeah, and kind of we get so inspired by doing that type of thing. You know, kind of people are like, where do you get your inspiration? How do you come up with the ideas? You know, and it's like, it's all around us. We'll go
have
to
to fill the
museum,
well.
We'll go to, we'll see our neighbor walking and we're like, oh my gosh, I love that. Actually, this is really inspiring me to make something off of that. But I think the more you see, the more your brain starts kind of saying, oh, I could take that and make that and change it and
more experiences, but of course we'll be like on our phones trying to film stuff and then never get to editing it because we're like, why are we doing this? I don't know. So it's a cycle.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I love about the Artist Way. Have you guys done the Artist Way?
I have started the Artist Way.
That's the general
That's the
answer.
thing.
I've only gone through it once, but
Wow.
I've attempted many times. I did it with a group and then we all got through, thank God.
The
But
group is the
group
key.
is the way to do it.
The group is the key.
But that was my favorite part of it was the artist dates. You have to take yourself on an artist date once a week. It's like Julia Cameron insists upon it because what she says is you need to go back out and fill the well. You need to find the inspiration from your artist date to put back into yourself artistically if you want to regurgitate it out in a different format, in a different artistic way. So it's like, yeah, you might like maybe going to, I don't know, the Morgan Library and seeing the architecture there is going to re-inspire you to put something out beautiful when it comes to crafting, or just fill your soul. But it's that like idea. I think that is a big part of play too, is learning how to fill your cup back up, fill your well back up.
Yes.
Which is so beautiful.
We actually just watched Disneyland Handcrafted. I don't know if you're a Disneyland people.
No, but what is this?
It's just like found footage of them kind of making and building Disneyland and kind of from the ground up.
Documentary?
Yeah, documentary.
Where? Disney Plus?
I think, and
YouTube.
Yeah,
I'm going to watch this. Oh my God.
Watch it while you craft tonight.
Yeah,
Yes,
paint by
oh my
number.
God, it really
it's a
inspired
vibe.
us in a way.
Make sure you stack your habit. You know, you got to stack them. Do everything as efficiently as you can.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%.
And record it.
Yeah, I'm going to do my laundry and I'm going to have a crock pot on. I'm going to make sure that I watch the documentary while doing my...
All the things at once.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be uploading all this footage into the hard drive at the same time. It's going to be
Just
a really
wanted to make
relaxing
sure
night.
you understood.
Can't wait.
But
Right.
it made me
Maximize.
feel like, you know, seeing that is kind of like, they really made the impossible possible.
Yeah.
And I think that was so cool to just watch the detail and kind of them taking this time really when they didn't think they could make it happen.
Also, like in a time where they were literally just like on scaffolding with like no like harnesses,
Right,
like, just
yeah.
like nailing stuff,
Nailing
like
shit,
very
yeah.
just like
Crazy.
It was
organically.
like,
Yeah.
this is amazing. Like, if
Yeah.
they can
That's
do
really
that, I can
cool.
do anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
What a perfect way to end.
yeah.
I love that.
I love it. I was
They
also
can
I
do
was
that,
gonna
I
add just
can do
something
anything.
negative, but not negative.
No, no.
Do it.
Do it.
I have such a love and reverence for the Imagineers.
Oh, my
Like the
gosh.
Disney Imagineers. And then the negative part was like, and it's like, fuck AI. But
I thought you were going to be
hope-
like, and I hate gay people.
and I am gonna die. Gays suck. No, I love the Disney history and the Imagineers. They literally were paid to be creative and show up and play, and it's
But
so
they were
special.
miserable too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, 100%.
Underpaid,
Probably,
probably.
you know.
Absolutely. Let's bring
But-
it. Let's end on a low note.
Yeah, let's
Well,
into the mud.
well,
Anyway, yeah, we can cut that last part out. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for being
Thank you
here.
so much.
Thank you.
for coming
It's
on.
so
This
good.
was
Thank
so
you.
much
This
fun.
was so
Oh,
uplifting.
Yes.
I don't want to leave.
I know.
You don't
I
have to. You
know.
stay for the
Oh,
next
okay,
one.
sweet.
Our little sauna.
I
Yeah,
love it.
know,
I love
right?
it. I love it. I love it.
Hot as shit
I know.
in
It's
here.
so hot as balls. Anyway, where can our
Where-
followers
yeah.
find you online?
Oh gosh, everywhere across social media, Crafty Lumberjacks, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube,
Great.
Facebook,
Great.
all the places.
How
the
convenient.
places.
Just everywhere, all in
Everywhere,
one.
Crafty Lumberjacks.
Amazing. Do you guys have like courses online or anything like that? Like,
No, we actually teach live classes through Michael's. So we kind of do like live classes.
We should
every
go.
month. Yeah,
Oh my
they're
God,
fun.
They're
fun.
virtual.
They're
Virtual live.
Virtual live.
Virtual live.
we're gonna get stoned and we're gonna take one of your
Yes.
classes.
Love that.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, Michael's Arts and
Absolutely.
Crafts was every single year. That was all I wanted for my birthday was a gift card to Michael's Arts and Crafts.
Yes.
When's the next
So-
one?
Oh my gosh, I don't think we have one coming up until July. This summer,
Yeah.
maybe.
Okay. Well,
We'll do it for her birthday.
Thanks, Tara.
We'll do it for my birthday.
Yeah.
Done.
Thanks, Terrence. Those googly eyes coming in from China are really
Very
expensive.
expensive.
Yeah.
They're very. It's a hot ticket item.
Oh my God. All right.
Thank you
guys
guys
so much
so
for being
much.
here. This is
Thank
so
you.
beautiful.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you. All right, everyone. Make sure you I can't speak. Remember you.
Like, follow, subscribe. There it is.
Love you all.
Smash it.
Have a good day. Bye.